Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Always a good day when we have our friends in from the YMCA of San Diego County. We have Cesar Silva. He is the Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer for the YMCA. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, thank you, too. Good morning.
Good morning to you. And this is a relatively new position, not at the Y for you. You've been doing it for 25 years, but in YMCA of San Diego County, correct?
Correct. I started late September, so I've been here for just about a month.
Oh, my goodness. So how are you enjoying San Diego?
Loving. I love the community. I love the impact that the Y has in this community. As you know, this is the largest YMCA
It is.
In the country, and I believe there are many reasons for that, to support the position that the San Diego Y holds. So I believe the community is a great community. Now it's great for family. So I'm really excited to be joining.
Yeah, the Y started in 1882 here in San Diego, and many years before that in London, and then in the U.S. in Boston in 1851. So I don't know if there's anybody that lives in this country that's never heard of the YMCA. If they have, they've been in the Space Station Mir or somewhere, outside of that. Just very quickly, what's the mission of the Y?
Our mission here in San Diego is to, again, the mission of the YMCA overall is to put Christian principles into practice, into programs that build a health, spirit, mind, and for all. Our mission in San Diego, we have had going through a brief change, and it is to
Yeah, because I know, you folks are always, doing some great strategies and strategic plans and so forth. And there's a reason why you guys are number one and are continually growing what you do. And I know something that's also near and dear to you folks is cross-border collaboration, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
So our mission is we nurture a health, spirit, mind, and body so all can thrive while honoring our faith-based heritage.
Right, exactly. And I think, and with that, you folks will, if someone can't afford to go to the Y, you work on scholarships, you make sure they can get there, and it's family-oriented, but you really focus a lot on, besides the athletics and all that business and keeping, the body fine, the mind as well, as you mentioned. You work with almost every single school district in San Diego County, do you not?
That is correct. And again, to your point, Drew, we have 16 centers for community well-being,
right,
where nobody is turning away for inability to pay.
Right.
We're here to support the communities. We're here to open doors and help people live a healthier lifestyle. We also have over 200 sites, which we call Centers for Positive Youth Development.
Right. And, what I love about it is because of the connection, not only with the schools, we have 43 school districts in San Diego County, but it's also with the businesses. And you work very closely with the businesses as well, and also with our universities. Talk about that.
Correct. So again, we provided it for the students an opportunities for them to, not only for the parents to have a place where before and after school care is provided to the kids. There is, as you know, a number of teens and youth that are homeless in the greater San Diego County, working diligently exactly to help bring, the stability for those kids. But we also have many, partners in the professional kind of between corporations, local sports franchises. So I firmly believe that single-handed, we're not going to affect change in a community. But it's hard to have change in a community without a YMCA. And I think it's great that we have about 5,000 of our team members. They go by their day every day, make sure that the community is well served.
Right. I think, something we were just chatting about also, the fact that you guys really look at, our border region as a region of one, and we talk about this quite a bit. It's the richest border region in the world, San Diego, Tijuana area. And some things we do very well to capitalize on, and some things we need to do better. But for the Y, I mean, you folks really are looking at it as two countries, but one community. Talk about that.
That is correct. It's you notice early on, the Y first started back in London, England in 1844.
Right.
So by its conception, it's an international organization.
Right.
Our attempt to work with the Tijuana and the Mexico YMCA is to the fact that we are not very different, in the services we provide. So to your point, to strengthen this very strong border that we have this coalition now that is helping really celebrate, two countries, one community. As we say in Spanish, dos países, una comunidad. And the intuit is really to open opportunities for more understanding and, to work together, serving. We are very close, as you know, to the Tijuana border. And there are a couple YMCA sites in Tijuana that we're trying to really make sure we strengthen. And vice versa. We are learning from them as well.
Exactly. We're chatting with Cesar Silva. He is the Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer for the YMCA of San Diego County. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Our Spotlight Show is the longest running community podcast in the nation. We're in our 20th year. Mission Fed for 6 decades. We've been doing great things in the community, whether it's supporting groups like the YMCA or arts groups, financial literacy. You live in San Diego County, Mission Fed is going to find a way to chat with you. Talk a little bit about the Y's rebranding and its approach to community well-being and belonging.
Correct. That's this initiative in terms of really celebrating well-being as a very much more holistic approach. So we have now the Centers for Community Well-being, which are really trying to be more intentional in terms of not just transcending from a more health living fitness approach, but for a whole, person's health, including, mental health. And again, youth development from, cooking classes to everything else we may do to support the community.
One of the things that you brought up, we say quite a bit on our show, is that we're in a mental health crisis in this world, probably the solar system for that matter, and certainly San Diego is not exempt from that. We've never seen more anxiety with our kids than we have now. And you folks play a big role in working with the parents who certainly have their own anxiety challenges to really focus on the mental health aspect of it. Talk about that.
Absolutely. So we are obviously in epidemic when it comes to mental, health and stability, particularly with youth, young people.
Right.
Our youth now has access to information and I think an addiction to electronics, which is not necessarily the enemy. We got to just help to balance that. And that's when the YMCA can come to play. We offer 3 resident camp opportunities where kids can again look into the skies and see stars, and maybe do some horseback riding and things of that nature that connect them to, the whole self and providing tools for the parents as well to support their kids. And once more, have a holistic approach to health that transcends the traditional just group exercise classes, which were still, best in class, but a much more family focused, whole individual focused health.
Right. And, and I guess the key is that you work with the family on this as well. And certainly we know that when there are people that are stressed out, whether it's youth who might not have the tools how to deal with it, because there's probably a bunch of adults who don't know how to deal with it for that matter as well. But you guys have always had this moniker, so to speak, of you're a safe haven. If you want to come in, no matter what the stress levels look like outside, when you come to the YMCA, we're family. Talk about that.
Correct. Even based on our, again, our Centers for Community Wellbeing, once you cross those doors, and again, those doors are accessible to all. Financials are not a barrier when it comes to the YMCA, thanks to thousands of donors that support our work every day. But once you cross our doors, if you want to push yourself, and if you want to do either play pickleball or, exercise, swim, all of that's available to you. It's available at no extra cost. But we also try to provide the tools, and again, from cooking classes to other mindfulness elements that can really help the individuals to, if they just want to even chat with someone, right? Because isolation is another issue in our community.
Huge
these days. So we can try to play a role with that too.
Yeah. Well, there's not something that is not out there as an issue that you folks can't deal with. We're chatting with Cesar Silva. He is the Executive Director and Chief Operating Officer for the YMCA of San Diego County. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. Our show is brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. When we come back from break, we're going to talk about all the cool things that you folks are doing in Escondido. I was fortunate enough to get a little tour of what they're trying to do with the Escondido Y and build that up. And then you want to save some time at the second half of our Spotlight show, Cesar, to talk a little bit about what our listeners can do to support your efforts, whether it's donation, whether it's volunteering, whether it's giving product, whatever the case. Becoming a member, of course, is a big part of it too. When we return after this short break.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast in our 20th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, 6 decades of doing great things for people in San Diego County. Chatting with Cesar Silva. He is the Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer for the YMCA of San Diego County. Number one, largest YMCA in the country, 4 zillion different projects. You have a great website. I really encourage our listeners, if you're not engaged with the YMCA, go to the website. You can probably waste it. That wouldn't be wasting. You'd probably spend half a day, for God's sake, looking at all the things that they're doing. But one of the things I know, having spent some time with the CEO, Todd Tibbetts, Escondido is a very key area for you folks. I have a little tour of how you're going to be building up the Escondido YMCA. Talk about how that progress is coming.
It's going great. Something that really excites us to have the opportunity to really have those transformative partnerships with the Escondido Union School District, right, National University, Neighborhood Healthcare. Again, just a few partners that are coming to make this campus a leader, really, in kind of someplace that the community can be very proud and hopefully very helpful for the community with the resources they need. We have focused on 3 key priorities designed to promote community connectedness and opportunity. This vision, again, is just to, 3 priorities on fostering community well-being, leverage collective impact to intentional partnerships. I mentioned a few of those partners.
Right.
And obviously youth development, particularly focus on the positive youth development as a key priority for the Escondido community.
You know, I think one of the things that we've always chatted about when Todd's come on or any of their other colleagues is that once you are a YMCA family, if we use that term, you're always a YMCA family. And it's passed down for generations to generations just because of what you folks have done. You got to take some great pride in that. That it's not like, okay, I've done my thing at the Y, now I'll move on. These families have been great-grandparents, great-great-great-grandparents. Talk about that.
I think that's one of the beauties of the YMCA. You will find kids that for the first time get into a swimming pool. We have post-maternity, classes for parents where moms and dads are going with their kids younger than 6-7 months old. We had a member at our McGrath Y that just celebrated 100 years. And to your point, many multi-generations that have continued to support our community. We ask that the community continue to open the doors. We are here for you. The Y serves the San Diego County, and to your point, has served since 1882, and we want to continue to do so for hopefully another 100 years and continue to maintain the level of relevance in this community.
You know, something that certainly families know this, especially young, struggling families, and doesn't necessarily have to be young, childcare is just off the rails these days and how expensive it is. And you hear this from families all the time. And my goodness, can I even afford to not work? Or if I work, then how are we going to support the childcare? Big deal. You guys are heavily involved in child care services, are you not?
Correct. We are the largest provider of child care in the San Diego County area. Recipient of many grants. They can also help come alongside those parents that are finding themselves on a tough position financially, which we understand the rising cost of living. Overall, it's an issue not only faced by San Diego, but by the entire state of California. So whatever we can do to help those individuals have access to our services is something we're very proud.
Right. And again, to the point we were talking about earlier, I mean, you talk about a challenge, whether it's childcare or whether it's learning or whether it's mental health or whether it's, mind, body and all that business. The YMCA has a program for you. And it's really one of these places that you got something going on, they can figure that out as well. Talk a little bit about, Cesar, what we can do, what our listeners can do to support the myriad programs that you folks have. What's the most important? Get engaged, I'm sure, but what else can they do?
So volunteer with the Y. There are many volunteer opportunities, including tonight. Many of our facilities are having Halloween celebrations, ways to get together, to help with that. Most of our programs, from the Live Strong program, which focus on cancer survivors, to other programs, depend on volunteers. Our youth sports coaches are volunteers. So there is an opportunity to get involved and have a direct impact on your community. Obviously, the level of work we do requires resources. So we're always looking for community partners that can come along with us. And we're very blessed to have so many individuals that on a daily basis dedicated their time, talent, and treasure to the YMCA. We are better because of them, and we ask that they continue to support us. But once more, as I said before, I firmly believe that single-handed the Y is not going to affect change. But I believe true change happens in a community when the Y is at the table and the Y is involved. So I ask that you continue to support us.
Yeah, and I think one builds on the other and so forth on it. You mentioned, you've got 16 major sites out there. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right. But you're in about 200 other areas, you know, whether it's on the campus of a school district or a school itself. Are you looking to expand that at all?
I believe we do. We are obviously still coming off of the pandemic, and try to strengthen our footprint, our current footprint. But as the San Diego County community continues to expand, I think the Escondido campus is just another that's an idea and a concept that has come in the last couple of years and will continue to grow. I believe there are other areas in San Diego that we should be serving more directly. And I think I'll be excited to see what our next strategic plan that really will solidify our position post-pandemic. Much of the last few years has been onto just trying to strengthen our position. And like any business that was significantly impacted by the pandemic, try to come back from that.
Yeah, and I think you had mentioned one of the organizations that's near and dear to our heart here on our Spotlight show, and of course, Cloudcast Media, National University, just down the street from the studio here in Scripps Ranch. And, National is shoulder to shoulder with you folks on so many different projects that they've started. Now they're going to launch one of these up in Escondido as well on the partnership. But you guys have always been close to not just National University. If there's a group that wants to work with you, you're going to take time out and spend how we can collaborate. And that sounds like such an obvious statement, but doesn't always happen, does it?
No, it doesn't. So to your point, so we very much value National University as a key strategic partner. We recently were working with them based on the impact that the government shutdown had in some of their students. So we're trying to come around and support. The challenges continue, and we need more partners to serve this community and continue to make San Diego County the best place to live.
Well, listen, with the YMCA and all the partners you have, I certainly pointed in that right direction. Cesar Silva, what a pleasure meeting you. This won't be the last time that we'll have you on. We really like to focus on the groups that you work with. So maybe the next time you're on, you can bring in a family that has benefited from, the services you have, whether it's from an athletic standpoint, whether it's from a mind standpoint, whether it's something, because you could probably bring in a family every single day and not even come close to hitting everybody. So if you're willing to do that, we want to follow up.
Absolutely. Would love to do that. We have many families that I believe will be glad to exemplify and share how the Y has made their family experience better.
Consider that a done deal. So always a pleasure. Welcome aboard to San Diego, and wishing you nothing but great success moving forward.
Thank you so much.
You bet.
Appreciate the opportunity. What an honor to be here, and congratulations for 20 years of continue, audience.
It's because of organizations like yours that we get to share this great content. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. I've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest running community podcast. 20 years and counting. Brought to you by the fine folks at Mission Fed Credit Union for 60 plus years, doing great things for people living in San Diego County. And to our audience, we hope you enjoyed the interview.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.